An airbrush. Yeah, it's one of those things that you probably don't think of when it comes to woodworking. And I doubt many people would have one. But I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of things an airbrush will do for you. It can get you out of a lot of trouble. You can take a spray gun and turn the fan down as tight as it'll go and all but turn the fluid off and get a pretty small pattern. Kind of acting like an airbrush, but it's not. That fine texture that you're able to get makes a huge difference. Now, an airbrush is not going to spray a water-based finish. It's not going to spray paint. They're not made to. The orifices on them are just way too small. Airbrushers are designed to spray thin lacquers, thin shellac, stain, a dye. And that said, they can get you out of a lot of trouble. It's one of those, I'm going to say it again, it's one of those things that, you know, you don't need it very often, but when you need it bad. Take a couple look at a couple things. Here's just a slight example. And if you look right here, this is just that old door we've been messing with, and I threw some dye on it, but right in here I've got to sand through. So let's assume for a moment I'm sanding and I sand through the color. Sometimes you can take and wipe it and get it back. A lot of times you can't, especially if you got an oil-based stain or you're using oil as a finish, because it soaks into the wood, seals the wood off, and despite your best efforts, it will not take the stain. So what you can do is you can actually kind of force it. You can lay the stain on there, because any other way, using an airbrush or something. Now the thing with the airbrush is it's going to allow you to sneak up on the color far better than a spray gun. Now I'm going to show you what I got right now. And I'm going to show you about. I mean, I've got such a little, very little color coming out that I can take something like this and I can start blending. And I can color it right in. The point of it is that it's so much more controllable. I mean, I can just get right in there to it. Now I'm going to show you a trick. It's called back taping. Can you see this edge? You see this edge right here? I sanded through it. Now the hard thing about an edge like that on a raised panel is that you can't really spray that without hitting this. So what I'm going to do is tape it off. The term's called back taping. And where this came from, back in the auto body days, you know, a lot of the cars and stuff were finished in lacquers and whatever, and you know, you rubbed them out with rubbing compound and polishing compound. And you got this big buffer and you got a lamb's wool bonnet on it and you're buffing. You catch the edge of a fender or hood or something like that, man, you can burn the paint right off of it. Well, you just wanted to be able to touch that edge up. And you couldn't do it with a brush or something because you had high metallics and all of this stuff. You had to spray it. So what I would do is I would do what I called a back tape. Now I've got my tape on here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this tape back. Now I'm going to pick this tape up just enough. I want you to, can you see what I'm doing here? See, I'm just rolling this tape back. I just want it to create me up. Let's get a shot dead on it. It's rolled back. The object of the game is I don't want to create a defined line. Now I can take my airbrush and I'm directing the spray at this part of this tape. I'm kind of relying on what's called the bounce back to color that edge. Now you can see what happened. It kind of feathers the color back so I don't get a defined line, and it's gone. Really, really works nice. Now for you guys who are doing smalls, little boxes, whatever, you know, to take one of these and take a little bit of shellac, or you know, you can take shellac, you can take lacquer or whatever like that. They're quick and easy to do a quick finish. They're really neat for small areas. There's basically two types. You've got one that if you look right here, you've got the nozzle, you've got your spray nozzle comes in, air goes through, and then pulls the fluid out of the canister. The way you adjust this with your fluid and whatever is by turning the nozzle right here. You just want to turn it whatever you need. That's going to adjust your fan a little bit, and it's going to also adjust the amount of fluid you're getting. And like I said, you can dial it right down. This is one of the simplest ones. And all this does is air, you've got a little cone right here, and air comes across the top and draws the fluid out. Now if you look very carefully, right in here you're going to see it's got a little spring and a little screw on it. And by adjusting the height of this, up or down, can't show it to you from my big old fingers. Cover it and die. By adjusting it up and down, that controls the amount of fluid that you're getting. See, I got kind of heavy there. I can take it down a little bit. That's nothing. Just a little. Again, for touching up, finishing small pieces, or just, you know, again, being able to get yourself out of trouble on a sand through or something like that, they are excellent. Now, when I say you can't spray a water base with them, you can if you thin it a little bit. But to do that, you got to open the fluid up pretty well. But you're going to have to thin it at least 10%, and it'll do it. Now, of course, again, a shellac or a lacquer, you can thin it as much as you want. The reason I'm telling you about a shellac, if I'm spraying something and I got to touch it up, sometimes I'm going to put a little shellac in there to seal it down. And particularly if I'm using like an oil-based stain, I'll put a little bit of stain on there. Now you got to remember, we're layering this stain on. So I'll put a light coat on there, put a little shellac over it. Then if I have to, I'll put another coat on. Because again, with a stain, I don't want to just keep piling it on there because it doesn't have enough finish / binder in it to lock it down. Just a caution on that. But this will certainly allow you to do it. I mean, when I'm doing something like that, I'll have my spray gun with some shellac in it turned down, just a very thin coat, and I'll put a little bit of stain, a little bit of shellac, a little bit of stain, a little bit of shellac until I got my color. Again, it's one of those things that unless, you know, when you need it bad. But you can also have fun with them. You know, and you can just get as creative as you want. I mean, like I said, back in the auto body days, I pulled a trigger on a mini one. did a lot of custom painting and stuff like that. Just had fun. And the sky's the limit. I always do this in my finishing class, so I thought I did for you too. I don't know about you, but I think that looked pretty. I think that looked good on a Bombay. What do you think? Airbrushes. They can be a lot of fun, but they can also save your bacon. Worth having.